Oh, bother. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my home. Lovely to have you here. Please get comfortable. And also, something's wrong with me today. Up here. I may have nuked my brain from last week's microwave cookbook. I almost said Microsoft cookbook. From last year's Microsoft cooking. Microwave. Last year's Microsoft cooking. That's what's going on. So I just want to do what I want to do. I don't want to ask too many questions. So the Winnie the Pooh Cookbook today is where I'm at. The Pooh Cookbook. The Pooh Cookbook. And what I want to do is make this thing called Cottleston Pie. And there's a reason why. Tell your story, Jamie. I recently came into possession of not just the cookbook, also Winnie the Pooh on vinyl. I know, I got the cookbook and the vinyl. I'm balling over here. It's from the 50s. It's a classic, you know, narrated by this guy named Jack Guilford. I don't know who it is, but maybe you do. I was playing it for my son. I took it for a spin, and I wanted to get a reaction out of him. And he wasn't paying attention. I was the only one listening.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Winnie the Pooh. I'm a teddy bear. Sometimes I'm called a Pooh Bear.
Yeah, this guy's telling stories of Winnie the Pooh, and then he breaks into song, and this song is called Cottleston Pie. And I kid you not, he says the words Cottleston Pie 10,000 times in the span of like 2 minutes. It was a lot. It took a toll on me. I haven't been the same since.
Cottleston, Cottleston, Cottleston Pie. A fly can't bird, but a bird can fly.
So I'm thinking, why don't I make this Cottleston Pie to exercise whatever is wrong with me right now? Also, it sounds like a banger of a recipe. It's like a savory breakfast pie, essentially. And that intrigues me. It has piqued my interest. Let's break. Short crust pastry coming right up. Bowl me. Thank you so much. Sifting in 6 ounces of flour with a pinch of salt. Plate. So using a combination of butter, vegetable fat, 3 ounces in total. Just using some Crisco for the vegetable fat, and I blend that together with a knife, and that goes in with the dry ingredients. Tips of my fingers rubbing the fat into the flour until it starts resembling a fine crumb. Everything is evenly distributed. With a short crust pastry, that really doesn't take all that long. Fork yourself and a couple tablespoons of water. Well, I got 4 tablespoons. Not using all the water, but just enough that it starts clinging together. Just get my hands in there a bit. And that it leaves the sides of the bowl clean. Lightly floured work surface, get that on there. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe just a little more water, Jamie. Knead it lightly until it turns into a smooth ball. What is wrong with me? Ball. Cover that and leave for 10 minutes. Well rested, I see. And I am going to split the dough in half. All right, my favorite thing to do is roll into a flat circle shape. Keep the circle shape this time today. Yeah, off the cutting board is the way to go. Into a shallow pie dish. So having trouble, this is the issue, isn't it? A 7 or 8 inch shallow pie plate. I'm using, oh. Supposed to have a top and bottom piece of this pie, but you're also supposed to have a 7 or 8 inch shallow pie plate. I'm using a 9-incher, so of course you're using up more dough. I thought I could get away with it. And now I don't have enough for the top, so let me just do that really quick. Today's episode is sponsored by Incogni. You know, scams and identity theft, they don't just happen out of the blue. They start because scammers can access information that is already online publicly. Your name, your address, your phone number, your relatives. And then the information's getting moved around like merchandise. It's bought and it's sold, and that's how people use your identity to open up accounts, take out loans. What can you do? It's more than just being careful. You got to make yourself harder to find. That's what Incogni does. They go out and remove your personal information from across the internet. And it's not just data brokers, it's all kinds of sites where your information has been exposed, and they'll keep doing it for you. Because once your information's out there, it has a tendency to keep coming back. See, the key feature is custom removals. If your info shows up somewhere specific, you send them a link and they handle getting it taken down. They take care of it. There's no forms, there's no chasing websites, there's no wasting hours of your life trying to figure out who to contact, because they can't harm you if they can't find you. So if you'd like to start your clean internet slate, use the link below and my code ANTICHEF. It gets you 60% off the annual plan. All right, let's get back to work. So what is going into our pie? I haven't revealed that just yet, right? I just said it was breakfast. I've never seen a pie like this in all my days. I don't get out too often, but eggs and bacon, and that is it. That's all that's going into our Cottleston pie. Bacon and eggs with, like, if I'm looking at the crust as your slice of toast, ideal breakfast, but in pie form. So yeah, is this a game changer? Was Winnie the Pooh ahead of his time? Of course he was. The Pooh Bear? Get out of here. Okay, so there's some British terminology in here because this is a British cookbook from 1971. I need 4 lean bacon rashers, so 4 slices. What I'm gonna do here is it's asking for lean bacon where you trim off some of the rind. Thinking that this is still gonna be fattier than what the cookbook has in mind. This kind of bacon has just got lots of streaks in it. So, yes, I'm gonna trim the rind, but also I have another plan. I don't want the pie just to be a puddle of grease at the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna pre-cook the bacon, or par-cook it, just for a couple minutes to render out some of the fat. Obviously not all of it, because bacon grease is good. All right, so the bacon slices arranged at the base of the pie dish. The rashers, I'm just gonna trim them a bit to make them fit. 4 slices of bacon, your finest looking bacon. Leaving 4 spaces for the eggs. Okay. Winnie, 1, 2, 3, 4. Break an egg into that open space. And there's gonna be 4 spaces, so 4 eggs. Never seen such a thing, truly. Okay, there's another space. And then space for 1 more egg. All right, and if that egg just kind of scoots over there, that way it looks a little more even. I have decided, because I'm using a bigger pie dish with a little more crust and a little more bacon, that 5 eggs is what I want to do today. And then I'm just gonna take some of this leftover bacon I have, which is about a rasher and a half, and I'm gonna create some dividers there so the eggs can cook without interference. Season each egg, salt, crack in some pepper. Roll out your remaining pastry, or if you're like me, the pastry that you made in addition to the other remaining pastry that you already used up because you used too big of a pie dish. Short crust pastry is so much more delicate than other. All right, nice. And on goes and clean it up. Cut a few slits in the center. Damp hands. Press the edges together firmly. Now this looks pretty rough around the edges. Make sure it's sealed, and then we can trim the edges even more so, make it look pretty or whatever. So that's sealed tight. Now I'm gonna fork it just to make it look. Going off script here with the fork. This is my call. The excess pastry and any final forking you may want to do here. But honestly, that's looking pretty nice. Winnie the Pooh. Pooh Bear would approve. And Piglet, and Eeyore, and Tigger, and the boy. I'm brushing the top with a little bit of milk. That's a new one for me. Usually it's like an egg wash, but I guess the eggs are in the pie this time. Oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna bake this for 15 minutes to start, turn it down to 350 and bake for another 15. Good luck. Ended up having this in the oven for like an additional 10 minutes so that the bottom of the pie cooked all the way through. Love to see it. What is it gonna look like on the inside? I was thinking initially maybe like a quiche, but I didn't stir the eggs, so I don't know. So I don't know. Order up. Genuinely curious what's going on with this pie, and also anxious to rid myself of an earworm. Come on, be good to me. Be good to me. The world awaits. Oh, that's rocking. Some hot sauce might be nice, a little Tabasco. No more pie for you. That is better than it has any right to be, and I've learned a lot eating half of it. That it probably just started off as words, right? In a nursery rhyme or in the 100-acre forest made up fairy tale world, and well, the author of the cookbook has made a recipe out of those words, and then I made it in real life, and yeah, it is really good. I really enjoyed it. It is a breakfast pie. The pastry is flaky, buttery. You know what'd be interesting about this pie is if you could find a way to cook it with the egg yolk still being runny. I know 30 minutes in the oven, that's never gonna happen, and I did like 40 minutes in total. But that would be a challenge, and I don't know if it's possible, but that would turn it up a notch. Not that it needs to be turned up. It is very good Cottleston pie. My favorite part was when I took a bite. Duh. Yeah, when you took a bite, Jamie, tell us what else. And I had a combination of the egg with the bacon. For me, the bacon was stealing the show. Every bite I wanted a little more bacon. I was wondering while I was taking a bite if it is just on the drier side than it needs to be, and maybe that's because I pre-cooked the bacon a little bit and lost some of that grease. It's possible. It's a minimal recipe, but that was legit and real and good. And I highly recommend the Cottleston pie. So I'm gonna go. This is Jamie and Pooh Bear. Bon appetit. Au revoir.